Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Ms Sadaf Ahsan bring you a topic that makes confusing most of the students. It's a gerund. What is a gerund? Do you know? Native English speakers use gerund a lot in English all the time, whether we realize it or not. So it's important that you understand them too. In today's lesson, I'm going to explain about gerund. Okay? I'm going to start answering your question in a simplest way possible. What is a gerund? Gerund look like a verb, but they are actually a noun. Perhaps you still don't know what that means. We all know that a verb is an action, right? We do a verb. For example, I jog every morning. But sometimes I just want to talk about an action, not do it. Jogging is one of my favorite ways to exercise. I love jogging. I'm talking about jogging as an action. I'm not jogging right now. I'm just talking about an action, something that I love to do. So in other words, I'm referring to the action of jogging as a noun or a thing. So I have just used the gerund, that's the gerund. I use the word that looks like a verb as a noun. So that's not too difficult. So how can we recognize the gerund that looks like a noun? Gerunds are formed by adding ing with the base form of the verb or very infinitive. So base form is jog with adding ing, jogging. I love jogging. Jog is a base form, jogging is a gerund. So obviously the reason why this is confusing is because this looks like a lot continuous form of the verb, right? Recognize the gerund, you need to pay attention how this is used in a sentence. When I got a test for you. I absolutely love singing, but performing in public makes me really nervous. Standing on a stage in front of a crowd of people is terrifying. So, did you hear all of those gerunds? Do you recognize them? Let's have a closer look. I absolutely love singing, but performing in public makes me really nervous. Standing on a stage in front of a crowd of people is terrifying. Okay? So far we have learned generally what a gerund is and how to make a gerund. So, here is a question. When and how do we use gerund? Just like nouns? Gerund can be used in many different situations. They can be used as the subject of the sentence, as the object of the sentence. They can be used after preposition, and we can sometimes use a gerund with fixed expressions. They can be used after another verbs. Oops, there are lots of different possibilities. So let's break them down together. Firstly, you can use the gerund when you want to use verb as subject of a sentence. Here are sentences where gerunds are used as a subject. Volunteering is a great way to give back to your community. Eating fruits and vegetables is important for a healthy diet. Studying gerund does not have to be frustrating. Next, object of a sentence. There are some very common verbs that looks gerunds as object. Love, like, enjoy, prefer, dislike. All of these verbs can be followed by a gerund. I really like cooking, but my husband is a much better cook than me. She really enjoys taking pictures of a sunsets. I prefer buying meat from my local butcher. Okay? It's your turn. Now what do you dislike doing? What do you prefer doing? Pause the video and write a sentence. When you see a verb after preposition, it's actually often a gerund. You remember preposition? They are words like on, at, in, under, behind, without. She walked out of the room without saying a word. And so these rules about preposition include expressions that end in preposition like in spite of. In spite of training for years, she got knocked out of the tournament in the first round. There is no point in taking your jacket. It's really hot outside. I am fed up with asking you to be quiet. There are some really common expressions that are followed by gerunds too. Really, you do just need to memorize these. It's no use leaving. It's no use leaving a message. She never calls back anyway. Can't help. Can't stand. It's no use. To be would. That are followed by a gerund. And guess what? Yes, it is your turn. Pause a video and write a sentences. What are some of the things that you can't stand doing? Now, you may also see gerunds used after another verb. Now, some verbs can be followed by a gerunds or the infinitives. This can be a little confusing because actually choosing one or the other can change the overall meaning of a sentence. Because in one sentence the word is a noun and in the other it's a verb. So, for example, I will never forget driving along the coast of Sicily. It was truly stunning. Don't forget to take your grandma to the supermarket. Let's practice. To find the gerund in each of the examples that I am about to put here and tell me, is it being used as a subject, an object, after a preposition or with his expression? A sentence is, it's no use avoiding him. Can you guess? Yes, gerund with a common expression. It's no use. It's no use of avoiding. It's no use asking. Next sentence is, do you feel like watching a horror movie or a romantic film? Which is a gerund? And it's a gerund used as an object, isn't it? The next sentence is, not realizing that one of my kids is sick is one of my biggest fear. So the gerund is realizing and it's a gerund to use as a subject. Use as a subject, right? Next sentence is here. In spite of being injured, she still managed to finish the marathon. So the gerund is being and it is the gerunds used after a preposition. So do you feel a little more confident about the gerunds now? Okay, I will see you in the next lesson.